Welcome to In Focus. I'm your host, Phan. If you've never traveled to a place where modern day meets ancient history, then you must go to Greece. It is a place where ancient ruins looks perfectly normal in the bustling city. Join me as I take you on a trip through Athens and see what Greece has to offer. Athens, Greece is truly a unique place to visit. Although steeped in history, it is also thoroughly modern. Downtown Greece can easily be mistaken for downtown New York, except for the Greek letters. Added to that are the ancient temples and monuments of old that is known worldwide. The Acropolis of Athens is by far the best known Acropolis in the world, and you'll see why. The actual Acropolis of Greece refers to the flat-top rock that all the temples and buildings are built upon. I think to really understand why this Acropolis is so famous, you have to see it in person.
My name is Aphrodite. I'm a tour guide of Greece.
How long have you been a tour guide for?
More than 20 years.
More than 20 years. So did you grow up in Greece and everything
I
too?
was born in Athens, downtown. Now I live in the suburbs of Athens.
So tell me, what makes the Acropolis? You've been doing this for 20 years. You don't get tired of it?
It's not only the Acropolis, it's all Greece. Very interesting because of the history we have. The Greek civilization is the base of the Western civilization. So I think it's very important to make the people understand what was Greece and what is Greece now. This is the most interesting Acropolis because of the buildings of it, which are unique in Greece and in the world. The perfection of them is unique. So it's very important. And it was a great religious center of this city.
Of all the sites in Athens, what do you think? What do you like the most, and why?
Well, of course, the Acropolis. The Acropolis is like a jewel in the city. You can see it almost anywhere from the center of it. You look up and you see an ornament right in the center of the city. So it's so nice that you keep admiring it every time.
To climb atop the massive hill and see the myriad of temples and structures, to look down at the city below and try to imagine that people lived and thrived here hundreds of years ago is awe-inspiring. The Parthenon, although yellowed from age, is a temple of the Greek goddess Athena, whom the people of Athens considered their protector. Her temple was the earliest Ionic temple on the Acropolis, compensated by its prominent position on a steep bastion at the southwest corner of the Acropolis to the right of the entrance. Nike means victory in Greek, and Athena was worshipped in this form as goddess of wisdom on the Acropolis in Athens, Greece. Of the remaining temples and such around Athens, the Temple of Zeus appears to be the largest. The columns itself are massive, and if you can imagine, this is what it is supposed to have looked like way back when. It is said to have had 104 of these columns, but today only 15 remain. In the distance, you can see the Acropolis on the hilltop. Originally, there was a giant gold and ivory statue of Zeus inside the temple, but today, nothing remains of these statues. It is not known when the Temple of Zeus was destroyed, but it probably came down in an earthquake during the medieval period. Here we get to see a traditional Greek dance. Coming up after the break, find out more about some of the most stunning sights of Greece are. You won't want to miss it. Stay with us.
SBTN là đài truyền hình Việt ngữ đầu tiên phát hình 24 giờ qua hệ thống DirecTV và cable trên toàn cõi Hoa Kỳ và Canada. SBTN phục vụ khán giả hàng ngày với lượng tin tức cập nhật sáng, trưa, chiều, tối, dồi dào, đáng tin cậy, cùng hàng loạt tin tức địa phương từ Little Saigon, San Jose, Dallas, Houston đến Washington DC, Boston, Toronto và Việt Nam. Phim bộ hấp dẫn lôi cuốn, cải lương đặc sắc, tâm tình nghệ sĩ thú vị, vui tươi, nhạc yêu cầu thấm thiết chân tình, thể thao văn nghệ đời sống sống động hào hứng. Victoria Show với thế giới điện ảnh kỳ thú mới lạ. SBTN luôn đồng hành với khán giả qua các diễn đàn và những phiên phóng sự nóng bỏng, ghi nhận các sinh hoạt văn hóa, giáo dục, chính trị, xã hội của người Việt khắp nơi trên thế giới và tại quê nhà, cùng với những nhận định thực tế, sắc bén của các thức giả đương đại. SBTN đáp ứng nhu cầu của mọi giới, mọi lứa tuổi qua các chương trình tìm hiểu luật pháp, di trú tị nạn, sức khỏe và đời sống, thể dục dưỡng sinh, em học tiếng Việt, lịch sử Việt Nam, hàng loạt chương trình giải trí phong phú lành mạnh như Người mẫu Việt Nam, Hành trình xuyên Việt, sân khấu cuối tuần. Cùng với các cuộc thi thố tài năng hào hứng sôi nổi qua các show Đố Ai, giải sáng tác hay nhất, giải những thước phim vàng sẽ lần lượt khởi chiếu trên SBTN. Mọi chi tiết về chương trình, ghi danh quảng cáo bảo trợ xin vào website www.sbtn.tv. SBTN hân hạnh giới thiệu DVD Người mẫu Việt Nam với cuộc thi tài sắc đầy hào hứng của 20 cô gái Việt trẻ đẹp, duyên dáng cùng chương trình ca nhạc đặc sắc với sự góp mặt của các tiếng hát trẻ trung được ái mộ nhất hiện nay: Thiên Kim, Lâm Nhật Tiến, Quốc Khanh, Đoàn Phi, Nguyễn Hồng Nhung, Christine Sa, Như Quỳnh, Đan Nguyên. 20 kiều nữ Việt, 20 niềm hy vọng, nhưng chỉ có duy nhất một danh hiệu Top Model, nên họ đã trải qua nhiều thử thách gay go, sôi nổi, phô trương những nét tuyệt mỹ và tài năng, đặc biệt nhất qua các chương trình biểu diễn thời trang và phong cách.
We're lining up to go out on the runway and then we heard this boom.
It's actually my mom's idea. She knew that this was a passion of mine since I was very young.
Kính thưa quý vị, người đã thắng giải Top Model năm 2008 là thí sinh.
Ai là Top Model 2008? Hãy mua DVD Người mẫu Việt Nam do Trung tâm Asia phát hành ngày 31 tháng 12 năm 2008.
Welcome back to In Focus. I'm your host, Thuy Phan. Before the break, we got a chance to visit some of the most famous sites that Greece is known for. In this segment, I'll take you to some of the lesser known but equally impressive sites of Greece. On the way out of Athens, you will pass a canal that is simply breathtaking. The canal is 6.3 kilometers in length and was built between 1881 and 1893. It connects the Gulf of Corinth with the Saronic Gulf in the Aegean Sea. The Corinth Canal is considered a great technical achievement for its time. At each end of the canal, seashore roads cross using submersible bridges that are lowered to the canal bottom to allow maritime traffic to pass. The water in the canal is 8 meters deep. It saves the 400 kilometers long journey around the Peloponnesus for smaller ships, but since it is only 21 meters wide, it is too narrow for modern ocean liners. The canal is nowadays mostly used by tourist ships. 11,000 ships per year travel through the waterway. Once you pass the canal, you are well on your way to a place known as Mycenae. At one point, it was the oldest important city in Greece, founded in 6000 BC. It is still a mystery how the city came to an end, and for a long time it was doubted whether or not the city even existed. But in 1807, a German amateur archaeologist located the site of the old city, whose ruins have since been excavated. To enter Mycenae, you must go through what is known as the Lion Gates. This gate is the oldest monument sculpture in all of Europe. It is not known what brought about the end of the Mycenaean people, but it is evident that the palace was burned at least 2 different times. It had been rebuilt, but it never returned to its former glory. Many towns were abandoned, the population in Greece sharply declined, and the once beautiful and powerful kingdoms were replaced by poor agricultural villages. Today it is a tourist destination flanked by a museum down below. On the way back, we stopped at a place called Naphtali, and it was simply stunning. The view from the castle is unlike any other. Old Nafplion is one of the most beautiful towns in Greece. Nafplion is full of restaurants, shops, cafes, and beautiful old buildings. The Palamidi Fortress, which sits above and dominates the city, is actually 3 separate fortresses walled together. It was built by the Venetians in 1714 and then taken by the Turks the following year and held until they surrendered it. I think by far one of my favorite things that I saw in Greece was the changing of the guards. These royal guards provide a 24-hour watch with an hourly guard change. The kilt-like uniform is called a fustanella, and it is part of the historic sharpshooters of the light infantry of 1833. Today referred to as the Presidential Guard, these soldiers proudly stand duty at the presidential mansion, the Greek tomb of the unknown soldier, and the Hellenic Parliament. This elite ceremonial unit have the tallest members with the average height of 6 feet 3 inches. You can take pictures with them, but be mindful and respectful. Although it may look funny, keep in mind that this is a proud position to hold in Greece. Also around the guards are pigeons. They are extremely friendly, so if you want to be a human scarecrow, all you have to do is buy some food from a vendor nearby, roughly $2, open your hand, and wait. It is a bit scratchy, and make sure you wash your hands afterwards, but it sure is fun. You should also check to make sure they didn't leave any presents on your hat before you go. One other thing that's superb about Greece is the university that runs along the square. Athena, being the goddess of wisdom, sits atop the university as its patron. Walk around and you will see a sophisticated system of cable cars, metro buses, cars, and rails. These were all put into place when the Summer Olympic Games came to Greece. And of course, I saved the best for last. One of my most memorable moments in Greece was coming upon this little kid trying to make a few dollars on the street corner, singing his little heart out. To me, these honest snippets give a real-life glimpse of what the people are like. And though I'm not sure what he was singing about, I do know that he sang with everything he had. Greece has always been on my list of places to visit, and I feel so blessed I got a chance to go and see it with AT&T Travel. It is everything I hoped it would be, and more. So now that I've crossed Greece off my list, it's time to add another one soon. Until next time, we hope you learn more, live more, and always stay focused. Thanks for watching.